You and I have talked before really about Newsom's star rising, and I don't want to over dramatize it, but it really seems like we're now talking about that star falling just a little bit because according to these numbers, at in August, he was at 25%. Now it's 9 months later. That's fallen by 9% at 16%. His support has been consistently slipping over the past 9 months. I'm curious why that is. What types of Newsom voters are leaving him?
The 2028 race isn't even close to starting, but Democrats are already picking favorites. And the numbers just took a surprising turn. For months, Gavin Newsom looked like the guy to beat. But now, his support is slipping. Pete Buttigieg has jumped into the lead, and several other Democrats are gaining ground fast. The biggest question isn't who's winning right now. It's whether Newsom is losing his grip on the race before it even begins.
Speaking of blue, let's look to the left a little bit. Who do Democratic primary voters want to see at the top of the ticket in 2028?
And Brittany, again, this is where we're seeing some shifts. So among Democratic voters, Pete Buttigieg is now leading 18%. Gavin Newsom has fallen significantly, now at 16%. AOC 11%, Shapiro and Harris at 10%, and then Beshear at 9% with 18% undecided. So I think the real story here is that Newsom is fading a bit. He's at 16%. There were points where he was over 20% among the Democratic electorate. And more or less everyone else apart from Harris has benefited from Newsom's number coming down. We see Buttigieg, AOC, Shapiro, and Beshear all gained between 2 and 4 points in this poll versus our most recent Democratic primary poll. So this one is very much anybody's race. I think there could be another candidate who isn't either listed here or is further down the list in single digits who could come up. And again, I think it's anyone's race. This one's really exciting.
You and I have talked before really about Newsom's star rising, and I don't want to over dramatize it, but it really seems like we're now talking about that star falling just a little bit because according to these numbers, in August, he was at 25%. Now it's 9 months later. That's fallen by 9% at 16%. His support has been consistently slipping over the past 9 months. I'm curious why that is. What types of Newsom voters are leaving him?
And looking at some of these numbers, we see they're kind of all over the place. And again, I think that that is to be expected. We are so far away from the actual nomination. Really anything can happen. And we knew that these voters were not necessarily locked in on any one candidate. So, you know, this melt, so to speak, for Governor Newsom, that's sort of come from everywhere, from various demographics, from the Democratic electorate at large. And again, I expect to see that he could very well rebound. He could go past 30%. He could drop out entirely. It's tough to say right now. We are still so early, but anything could happen. And I don't think that this is over for Newsom. I think that he has been out of the news cycle in the past month or two. So, I think one move and he could very easily catapult himself back up to the top.
During a discussion about the latest Democratic primary polling, the panel revealed that Pete Buttigieg is now leading Democratic voters with 18% support. Gavin Newsom, who once topped 20% and even hit 25% in earlier polls, has dropped to 16%. Meanwhile, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez sits at 11%. While Josh Shapiro and Kamala Harris are tied at 10%, with Andy Beshear close behind at 9%. The analyst explained that Newsom's decline has allowed several candidates to gain support, making the entire field much more competitive. But they also warned against reading too much into the numbers. With the 2028 nomination still years away, voters aren't locked into any candidate yet. According to the analyst, Newsom could easily bounce back, surge past 30%, or continue falling. One major moment in the news cycle could completely change the race overnight. For now, though, one thing is clear: the Democratic race for 2028 is wide open, and nobody has control of it.